If you were in a room with everyone you ever met, who would be the one you'd look for?
My husband. I would love to see him strong and healthy one last time, as opposed to the sick, atrophied man he was at the end. He was a runner and he had the most beautiful strong legs. He was such a good dad.
Whoever organized this event of thousands of people, most of which I don't remember.
My best friend Gabrielle. She died from cancer when we were 12, it was so hard watching her go. I named my firstborn after her and am best friends with her little sister now. I miss her.
I met a man on a plane once, sat next to me. He was about my dad's age and later I found I was about his daughter's age. We started chatting and just a few days before I had just cut off contact with my veteran alcoholic father. He asked me about myself and I told him I worked in child welfare. He then told me he was a veteran addictions therapist. I don't even remember how we got on the topic, but by the end of the flight he was telling me, tell your dad you love him. Tell him you want him to get sober for you, because you want to see him live a happy and full life. It was such a bizarre encounter with what was going on in my life at the time, and I'm not religious, but maybe divine intervention placed us in that place at that time. I'd look for him to tell him how much that conversation meant to me, that it was the most impactful meeting with a stranger I've ever had. Edit, update commented below.
Rashim. I loved him for more than half my life. I just wish we'd made up before he passed.
I do not know if this would be the only person I would look for, but it would be someone to think about. There was this oldish homeless-ish man that would tap dance on a corner every day on my walk to school. He got some money from tourists. For a while he had, written in glitter, background for movies available for hire, or something like that. I changed schools and haven't seen him forever. I wonder where he is now. There are also those friends, where you went to summer camp for a week and became the best friends and never saw them again. I would like to see how they are doing. Lastly, I was ice skating in a resurfaced lake this winter. I met a few kids there, and I was pretty good friends with them. It was time to go and I told them to meet me back there the next day. They said sure. It was bad weather the next day so I didn't go. I wonder where they are now. Edit, winter. I went ice skating this winter.
For me it would be the guy who mooned me in downtown Denver one day. And hashtag X200B, as I'm pulling up, a homeless-looking man in baggy jeans and a crooked smile points at me and grins. Before anything in my mind can register he turns away from me, drops his jeans and moons me. Underneath? Another pair of jeans, completely obfuscating his lunar entities. He lets out a laugh bathed in hysteria and casually walks away from me, walking towards the financial district, knowing his mark saw nothing but cotton I got use.
My childhood best friend. We were best friends from 4 to 17. He battled with leukemia from 13 to 17. The last year of his life he was constantly in and out of the hospital and was immunocompromised. I got to see him but we had to keep our distance. We were planning on going to the same college for engineering. I know all he would want to know is if I did it and kept moving. I plan on naming my firstborn after him. 12 years later and I still think about him most days, and he is my driving force to stay positive and keep on pushing. Edit, thank you all for the kind words. Yes, I went to the school we were planning on. I got BS in mechanical engineering and am currently getting a master's in engineering management. His name was Brian so we named the child Brian or Brianna. Please do not purchase awards for me, donate that money or buy a beer.
My dad, I miss him.
The love of my life. He suffered in silence and lost his life to suicide. It's been 5 years and I still look for him everywhere.
So when I was super young, me and my sister would play in the backyard. There was also another street that was beside us, and another family's backyard came up to our fence. There was this girl that would always come IP to the fence and QLL, 3 of us would play together. One day she and her family vanished and I never saw her again. Just to be clear, this is not a romantic thing. We were just really good friends. But I haven't seen her in so long I forgot everything about her. Name, voice, age, even her face.
Even the people who are dead now. My grandpa. If not,
My friend Matt, who died back in 2005. He was essentially the architect of my moral compass.
My AP calculus teacher, he was the only person in the entire school who noticed I was being abused at home. He approached me cautiously, never judged or blamed me. He treated me with respect at a time where no other person did. It broke my heart when he died a few months later. I never took the AP calculus test because I was devastated. He was my teacher's years before that, so I always looked up to him.
Haley. I met her when I was 14 at this church thing. She had had a rough go at life, but was very kind to me. We spent most of it talking on a little boat on the lake/pond. I got her number so we could hang out. I called and her mom cussed me out. I tried to clear things up with her at church on Sunday, telling her that I wasn't the one turning her daughter to drugs. They weren't at church and I never saw her again. I miss you, Haley, you were very kind and I wished we could have been better friends. Edit, I'm a woman, our relationship was platonic, guys.
My prom date. I thought we were going as friends. I was too young and stupid to realize how much she liked me and put herself out there, just to have me not notice. Owe her an apology for that.
My husband. Even though it's likely he's already beside me. Then I'd finally get to introduce him to my grandfather.
My mom. She died on the 2nd of this month. I'd give anything just to get a hug from her.
My friend I had from pre-K to 5th grade, never got the chance to get any contact information.
My daddy. My mama would be right there with him, so I'd look for him first.
My grandfather. He died when I was around 5, and I loved him as much as my parents. Although I don't remember much of him, I would really want to sit down and talk to him, get to know him. I miss him.
First, my deceased sons who passed YRS apart. Then, this guy I had a date with in high school. He asked me out again the next night, and I turned him down. I feel bad because I never told him why. It was because he was so incredibly sexy that I didn't trust myself. I was only 15 and wanted to stay pure. Unfortunately, 15-year-olds aren't necessarily good with words.
My cousin. He died last year after being struck by a car. He was 10 years younger than me and like a little brother. His birthday is one day before mine. My birthday is going to hit different this year, unamused face.
My daughter, who I'm hoping would be cradled in my grandma's arms. Damn you, cruel world, taking everyone away, sad face.
A man pulled a teenage me out of a crowd at the MN State Fair 17 years ago. He insisted that studying abroad was the best choice he ever made and that if I did it, I wouldn't regret it. He shoved a sign-up booklet into my arms and passionately implored me to fill it out. I could tell he meant it. 6 months later I received my acceptance into the Rotary Student Exchange Program. I was off to Japan. This not only changed my life forever, but that of my family's. The Japanese girl they hosted for a year was just my sister's maid of honor. I now speak 4 languages. I'm married and live in Beijing. And none of this would have happened if I hadn't been right there at that exact moment or if he had grabbed someone else. I'd just like to find him and tell him thank you, you were right.
I used to be in a meetup group that gathered once a month or so. One of the members, who I never really talked to, had a girlfriend who was dope. Every time she came along to a meetup, we instantly clicked and spent the whole event chatting. I wanted to exchange info so that we could keep in contact, but I'd always forget when we saw each other. One day her girlfriend, the actual group member, shows up and tells us that they had a nasty breakup. I seriously contemplated asking for her ex's number, because I really wanted to be her friend. I'd look for her.
The friends I've lost to AIDS. Any one of them, I still miss them all.
My ex. I want to sincerely apologize because I never really did. I should have. I was young and stupid. She was right. And I was a pig-headed bitch ETA. Thanks for the silver, kind stranger ETA too. Y'all are amazing. I never expected this to blow up. I just wanted to be honest with my answer.
My ex-best friend. That was my first true friend, used to sleep over his house and his mom always hugged me when seeing me even when he wasn't around. I ended up talking to this college girl he liked. We were both seniors in high school, so it was kind of a big deal. I knew he liked her but didn't think he took it seriously. I also didn't take it seriously, and me and the girl never did anything. Not even a kiss. I think it was genuinely just the betrayal of me giving a girl attention that he made it known he was into that did it for him. He has pretty low self-esteem, so I think it triggered that in him as well. Anyway, that was my fucking boy and I miss him all the time. Wish I could sincerely say I'm sorry, but that's a relationship that will never be what it used to be due to the damage.
That one person I love that lives thousands of miles away, and we haven't seen each other in years. We talk, but getting time face to face is something we haven't had for a while.